Wassail, beautiful people, wassail. So, we're up in the lap of the gods, and we're going to do pick a rune. I've thought about lots of other things, but pick a rune seems important. I'm getting this image of what's fogging your smoky mirror, what's clouding the growth of your Yggdrasil. And so I put on my smoky shirt, and we're just going to dive straight in, and we're at, I'm going to put 1 minute, because I just need to organise myself. And we're only 8 seconds away. We're going to begin with the bells. So, did you pick rune number 1? Let's have Neptune's foggy bell and see what we can pick up from the bells alone about what this energy might have in store that needs clearing. And I would say Venus is probably contributing to the clearance. I probably should have said that earlier. But maybe it's just for rune 1. So, tuning in to the wrong chatter. That seems to be the frequency I am getting for rune number 1. Tuning into the wrong frequency. It felt like a lot of noise that you can't hear through. It's like there's another melody being played and you're not able to hear it. And there's anxiety somehow hidden beneath this. So, I'm going to grab the runes and I'll pull a rune, and obviously that's the rune you've just seen in the picture and picked. But for the moment, I have no idea what runes are on their way. So, rune number 1, please. What's clouding their mirror? What is this energy? You see, now I'm hearing the number 47. And so I'm going to count through 47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Flewsa. It's a 13. That's so weird. I was going to say I keep hearing 13 in my head. And I didn't want to say that out loud while I was counting to 47. 67 is a 13. Poem 67. We need to find poem 67. I love these poems. I think they bring a really wonderful angle to the stories. Somebody needs to hear Auntie. Auntie spoke. I think it's dead Auntie. Auntie spoke right at the very beginning and I ignored her and she's just said, will you please say Auntie? And that's really weird. Auntie, she's making some kind of joke about Oval, Ethel, some kind of link to that name. but also anti-birthright. So something to do with, like, I want to say a genetic inheritance. Anyway, let's look at Flewsa. So I just have a brief read, because with my lack of upper teeth at the moment, waiting for the denture, I have to think about the words that are coming up to prepare my mouth. So, can you hear a hummingbird chirping, kissing? Oh, Auntie kissed, Auntie descending, Auntie kind of you small child, and Auntie coming down to kiss you. So, a rite of passage into fertility, fluidity, and creative potential. Shifting in a divine moment, synchronizing blood to the cosmic cycles. Stepping towards the moon magic of life. Womb flow from the sacral seat, the bloodlines through time that give form to life. To be in tune and to lose count of the structures that hinder all mystical progress. To accept and not question, to release resistance and be 13 moons frequency. So I guess I should read that again. Flewsa 67. A rite of passage into fertility, fluidity and creative potential. Shifting in the divine moment, synchronizing blood to the cosmic cycles, stepping towards the moon magic of life. Womb flow from the sacral seat, the bloodlines through time that give form to life, to be in tune and lose count of the structures that hinder all mystical progress. To accept and not question, to release resistance and be 13 moons frequency. That's interesting, because the first time I read it, it was about losing your place. It's almost this energy of that chatter. You have to lose your place in amongst all of that noise that is interfering with your true fluidity. So, creativity, fluidity, is what's inside your fog, and it can't find its way to extend its leaves, to reach out and feel the day, to feel light, to feel connected. It's almost, there's something about you being connected to darker dreams at the moment, and those dreams are bleeding into your reality. The fog feels very much like losing your way. That's the energy. And yeah, I feel like this auntie is that hummingbird. She's sending out like a homing beacon. And as I said, that hummingbird just flew by and away. She is the hummingbird. She's the homing beacon, hummingbird homing beacon for you. I mean, that hummingbird's over there, but I can't see it, and that's the point. It's like you have to follow. It's like a little tiny beacon of love. So, room number 1, Odin and the 9 Realms. Let's give you a rifle. Let's say that one full. It's Eorðgrap. See, this is a destiny, a point in time that's inevitable, a moment throughout your life. But again, the Eorðgrap is tangled. It's about untangling, unbinding yourself from the fog of fear. Hard to say, with no upper teeth. The fog of fear. Jormungandr is here. It's like the energy of the earth serpent, the bloodlines, the earth grid is wrapped around you and you feel stuck. So, focusing on the love, how do you break free? How do you clear this smoky mirror? Oh, I'm getting a really strong smell of perfume. I know, follow the scent. How do they clear this smoky mirror? How do they clear the smoky mirror? Right, so I'm being shown an image of a vulture. And the vulture sitting, waiting. And I'm being shown back to that video I did on my birthday at the temple, where they talk about how the carrion birds eat away at what's unnecessary. You've got to somehow unpick some kind of trauma, some kind of discomfort. I want to, so it's something that you feel. If you think about the right auntie, you will know her story. And there's something about you clinging to a similar tune to auntie. And there's a kind of 1920s sort of jazzy energy tune. It's not there, it's just a frequency. But what she's saying is stuck. She's stuck in a kind of, I mean, she's using the word like in a wanton desire to show off. Stuck in a, she's talking about a kind of modernism that delivered nothing. Somehow you're stuck in an energy that's delivering nothing, and she's trying to give you a beacon to move you towards some kind of new energy. So this auntie, how are you going to help them clear the mirror? How are you going to help them clear the mirror? Hagal. You see, I'm immediately there's the sense of the volcanic rising of magma, the energy of fire, the energy of clearance, the energy of a kind of, sort of like a popping. Like something needs to be explosive, like hail comes down, because Hagal is hail. Hail comes down and it hurts, and yet it then melts. The tiny little particles of frozen water melt. So the energy I'm getting is that you've got to go through some kind of hailstorm to get there, but she's guiding you. This ancestor is guiding you, and that's interesting to me in itself, because there's been a sort of an absence of ancestral guides recently. Like, we had to get lost. We all had to get lost somehow. So come on then, auntie, with your homing beacon. What else would you like to add? Right, so I'm being told the 13. I have to stick with the theme of 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You see the shadows. You've got to face cutting out the shadows. Again, it's like there's something about this that's dream world. There's something about this that's astral. let's get I have to keep a cloth over everything, so it gets a bit difficult picking them up. Let's get the Alchemy of Astrology deck. I'm going to shuffle them, and then I'm going to turn the 13th card. And then I'll shuffle them again, and turn the 13th card. I'm not taking any of you, even the one on my floor. Yeah, we'll shuffle them once more. Oh, they're really alive with the wind. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Aquavita. So this is windy wind. You see, the energy of air will bring the fires back towards you. So you're in a spiritual cul-de-sac. So you've been following a false pathway, and that's why you're locked. That's why she's offering to be the homing beacon that rings, that calls, that tries to bring you towards something. You're on a spiritual path. You're seeking a remedy. But there's something about, was she a drinker, this aunt? Because this is the energy of alcohol. And there's something about numbing things in later life, she's saying. And look, she could be many of your aunts. She becomes an archetype. And some will recognize her immediately, and others will recognize it as a kind of ancestral energy. An aunt could mean someone from a very long time ago. But there's this energy of quintessence, the kind of fifth frequency, the four elements, and then there's this fifth element. It's not Bruce Willis, but they often call it muons. And there's a lot, they're going to turn on the CERN collider thing in CERN, the Hadron Collider, in search of this quintessence, this fifth element. So there's something about, I want to say, fiery nightmares. I'm waking from fiery nightmares and seeing shadows as you wake, being, I want to say that she's almost, it's very weird, it's almost like she's coming to frighten you awake. That's a really folk story thing, but there's something, if we go back to the original energy of Flewsa, there's something very frightening about a rite of passage. You know, there is, I'm being shown, like being told creepy fairy stories to sort of frighten you onto the right path is the energy. You're walking the wrong path. You need to move to a new path. Let's get another card. Give them a shuffle and then we'll count 13. Show me a door number 13 as well. Ooh, it's very, very windy with Auntie. Very, very windy with Aunt. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Arsenic. Swan transformation. It's a new pathway. This is really, really beautiful energy. It's, yes, the king of poisons. And so I'm being told that's what these nightmares are that you're suffering with. And she is going to bring you some more. But you need to, in your nightmares, you need to listen for the homing beacon. Because that's what's being offered. But you've got to, it's almost like it has to be triggered through fear. That's a very strange energy, but you're brave. There's also something about microdosing. And I'm being shown the homing beacon as the energy of the microdose. It's faint. You've got to really listen for it. You've got to really search for it, not just in your dreams, but in the natural world. You've got to seek tiny synchronicities in the real world, and that's Auntie winking at you. So let's put this on. I've got my original deck, and again I'm going to rifle them, and I'm going to count 13 because that seems to be what Auntie wants. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and she's saying something about how you were always good at dropping a clanger. She's going to unblock all that was stuck. She's bringing fluidity. This is very Taurian energy. So for you, this is beginning. I'm being really drawn to the foot on the moon. There's something about some kind of soup. But Auntie made, it's sort of like she's saying, like, I'm not saying that she's necessarily your Jewish auntie, but that she's, I'm being, you know, this is a multi-layered energy. So I'm being shown chicken soup, that notion of a soup that heals, food that heals. This is Taurian energy. You have to move to food that heals your soul, because that will help you to tune in to the homing beacon to bring you back into your flow. There is an energy of Persephone, like this aunt is dividing this year for you, Rune 1, into 2 halves, 6 months of winter, 6 months of summer, and summer hasn't arrived yet. You're still in the winter of your discontent, and she's the homing beacon. She's the thing that's going to lead you from that frequency. So again, I'm going to count 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You see, that's almost what she's bringing to you. That fire, that Hagal energy, that frequency of fire, bringing the passion back into your being. It's now snowing with the blossom seed tree. They're like little blossom flowers, but they're actually seed pods, and they whirl around all over the place. She's talking about you being a next generational frequency. You are the next generation. The sunflower seems very relevant. Turn and face the light. Stop walking down the dark, gloomy, spiritual cul-de-sac. Turn round. It's never wrong to turn round and go, oh, I was walking in the wrong direction. I know the difference now. There's something about she being, the aunt being the sort of seeded, full, ready to feed you, the world. Again, sunflower seeds. There's something lacking in your nutritional makeup that you need to rectify. Again, that sort of notion of food is your healer and food is your guide. And then you are the bud waiting to flower. So how are you clearing your mirror? By listening for Auntie in your dreams. There's a card falling out, but I'm not taking it. It's card of child. She's just sort of reminding me of being older is that descending down to get a kiss. I'm not saying that this person has to be someone that you knew as an auntie. It could be in the past, but it's the energy. It's auntie energy. So I'm going to rifle them and then I'm going to count 13. There's something very mystical about 13. Maybe on the 13th of May or the 13th of whichever the next month is when you're watching this. But here comes one of those seed pods. Oh, it nearly made it in. Right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Coffin. It's put to bed the old energy, put to bed the nightmares. There's such a frequency of luck. Blue lotus, kind of like the nightmares are a hallucination. They're not real. They're part of an old pattern that needs to be buried. Something about sacred scarab beetles as well. The magic is within the seat of your soul, but you're not able. It's like it's not able to come out of the fog because you're too far down the wrong road. Turn round. It's almost like the scarab beetle. Your soul is like the echolocator for the homing beacon of the hummingbird. So one more card. Where are you heading? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Into your power, bear. Bear, you're waking up. And yeah, you're a bit grumpy. But you're in power. And look, the beetle's there. It's a stag beetle now. But it's moved out from within you. It's without of you now. The magic is now coming towards you. It's not trapped within you. You've put that energy to bed. The old frequency, the ancestral frequency, the dark energy, the nightmares. And you're moving into your power. And this is house 1. This is pure essence frequency. And there's something about going after all that's sweet in life. So, that was rune number 1. I'm going to collect all these up. So, that was a lovely message from Auntie. Let's see what the others have. Let's get that windy. This gets a bit tricky here because I've got to put cards away without them all blowing. So that's the Alchemy of Astrology. Slip them in there. Put the towel back over. Ooh, that wind is really trying to steal cards. Let's just put the Odin and the 9 rounds. Odin and the 9 rounds. put them back. I have to do it without picking them up because I can't pull the towel back too far. There's all it's excitable energy. Right, I think I better put my iPad over that towel. Let's get the bowl back. Oh, I have to mark a timestamp, people. Oh, I thought my iPad was going to do its naughty thing that it keeps doing at the moment. Where has it just put that? I created a new document. There it is. So, rune number 2 begins at 3050. Let's say 31. 31. Put that back. So, did you pick rune number 2? Well, did you? I don't know. You're here, so I guess you did. So let's do Neptune's bells and let's try and tune in to what might be coming. So I was getting Mimir's brook. I was getting a babbling, bubbling stream. I was getting fresh water. I was getting this energy of hidden within your smoky mirror is laughter. Have you not belly laughed for a long time? Because that's sort of the energy I'm picking up on. A real kind of watery, giggly frequency. So I'm holding these down here a bit. The wind is going to whip these away. And I suspect, like now, I'm thinking I need a number and they've given me 25. So I'm going to shuffle them and then I will pull card 25, or the 25th card. So let's... I felt suddenly like there were half the deck missing. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 cards missing. That's why it felt so extreme. I'm going to pop these in and we'll begin that shuffle again and then we'll look for the 25th card. It just felt robbed. Maybe that's part of the energy. You've been robbed of laughter. You've been robbed of humour. There's a card fallen. I'm not taking it, but it's the journey home. I'm going to rifle them and then count to 25. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Urr. Wild ox, untamable. So let's pull up the rune poem for Ur. There was something else that just channeled in while I was counting. It was something to do with a transformation. Let's see if it comes up. It's number 2, isn't it? Yeah. So, 0 to 12. Here it comes. Urr. Fleshed from black gold, giant glossy aurochs roam, verdant valleys, mountains and moors, savage, wild, majestic horned beasts snort, unattainable, untamable, unconfined by man, the ranger of freedom, the grazer of thoughts, the resilient power to be its own keeper and to keep roaming. So I'll read that again for you. Ur, number 2, fleshed from black gold, giant glossy aurochs roam, verdant valleys, mountains and moors, savage, wild, majestic, horned beasts snort, unattainable, untamable, unconfined by man, the ranger of freedom, the grazer of thoughts, the resilient power to be its own keeper and to keep roaming. So the energy frequency I'm getting in that is you are not free. You are confining yourself to other people's rules, other people's energies, other people's desires. I need a sip of water before it gets too hot. God, it was frozen before. So, we need Odin and the 9 rounds to begin with. Can't get hold of them. And I feel like, again, cards, things, you, wanting, feeling, left behind. The last people were lost, but this is like being left behind. Lost is different. Lost, you still bump into things. They might frighten you. But this is being left alone. I'm being shown like, yeah, the spirit can be quite direct and sort of a bit hackneyed sometimes in its images, but it is that kind of like the small child at a seaside. Somehow you've got left behind. But somehow there's no one at the seaside. That's there's just no one there. Wherever you are, you're alone. And yet somehow it's almost like you can't reach the lock on the gate to undo the gate and let yourself out. There's something about the energy of card number 1, Feo, being confined. Confined is so weird. They're showing me like a huge empty field, and you're still in the middle of the field. You could walk to the edge and at least explore whether there might be a hole in the fence that you could crawl out. But you feel totally and utterly like you just have to sit down in the middle of the field and wait. For who? I mean, there's almost that sense of if you just sit there, then the real aurochs might come thundering through like bison and knock you down. So what's the message for rune number 2, please? What's the message for rune number 2? Odin and the 9 realms. There's an energy that's been here since I started. I didn't say it earlier, but as soon as I started chopping your cards, the air went still. Now it's picking up a bit. So you have Jira. It's time to harvest. It's time to harvest seeds in you. It's almost like you're in the middle of the field. I mean, this field is so completely, massively vast, like a savanna. You don't even know where the boundaries of this field will be. There might not even be any, and yet you're not moving. It's almost like there was a big festival, a big community event, and everybody left, and somehow no one thought not just to take you with them. It's almost, even if they weren't your family, they were responsible adults who should have noticed you being left. So there's a real sense of, how did you get there? I think that's part of sort of an energy of a life review that's going on with you. So you're looking backwards in your life and you're asking yourself, how did you get to where you were? Where was the moment when, I want to say, where you became invisible, because somehow everybody wandered off and you were there. So your smoky mirror, it's time to harvest the seeds within you. I feel they're showing me an image of you having a seed bank. And when I say within you, yeah, within your DNA, within your thoughts, there's all this potential to water and plant and to harvest. And they're special seeds that only you have. And there's many of them, they're in little tiny envelopes, and there's something about how these seeds have all been catalogued, and your pockets are bulging with the seeds, and yet you've not put your hand in there. You've not even opened a single packet of seeds and wondered what they might be. It's like you have the potential to grow like an entire world, an entire... They're not plants as such. They're seeds of experience, and they grow into... It's like they grow into anything you need. Imagine that this field is the whole world, and the only borders that you would find would be where you come across water, and yet one of your seeds could instantly grow into a ship to carry you across the water. It's like the seeds are potential dreams. So what's clouding you, what's fogging you, is that you're not looking at the resources within you and within your life to this point. There's an entire freedom to be harvested, and yet you're not achieving this. You've got to build your celestial city. You've got to grow your astral world in that field, on that savanna. You don't have to stay there. You can walk anywhere. It's all yours, the whole space. So, Odin, what else would you like to say? I feel like there's very much kind of an energy of blackboards. By that, what I mean is scratching runes into soil, drawing new, making furrows in the land, connecting in. Everything's very simplistic. It's not like there's some kind of grand god energy coming down to you as Elfamir falls. You see, the elves are hiding growth. There's something to do with the sunshine in this card, and then being the light, you being the light to grow your own personal Yggdrasil realm. You know, Odin and the 9 realms, the 10th realm is within you. It's within all of us. So what am I getting from the elves, apart from a reminder to eat, a drink? That's interesting, because the last one was also had this reference to food. One sec, let me have a sip. Right, so the energy I'm getting from these is put your hands in your pockets, pull out the seeds, and work out what you're going to do. You're full of potential. You are capable of growing anything. But you can't do that until you review, well, your gifts, your life experiences, your dreams. Review your dreams. What dreams have you let slip? What dreams have you given up on? So let's move on to, and the air's gone still again. It's been really windy up here, but during this, there's this energy of potential, a waiting potential for all of air energy, Elfamir energy, the shining light, the elven ring. So there's some connection. You need to remember that if you deliver your potential, your dreams, your seeds to the Elven Ring Collective, to remind them of how you dream big, the Elven Ring Collective, the high frequency that holds physical space, can begin to bring you something. Here comes the wind. Oh, and perfume. Like mock orange. Oh, that is sublime. You need to connect with the elves. Your freedom is in, it's so weird. Your freedom is in the, your freedom is in the collective. So the elven ring is like being ring fenced into comfort, and that's what you're supposed to be, breaking free from being fenced in. But the truth of it is that you're not fenced in, you're protected, and you need to connect to the collective to unlock the potential of the seeds within your dreams. And then a lovely little shadow of a bird went up. You got the same first card, actually, as rune number 1. Quintessence. And Alchemy is very much that fifth element, that muon energy, that secret magical frequency that exists within all of us. So this is usually a spiritual cul-de-sac, and for you it's more about not so much a cul-de-sac, but just like it was that energy of the field, the space of nothingness, waiting for some kind of remedy. But you've got all the gifts of the remedy in your pockets. All the elves have got their hands in their pockets, reminding you, psychically connecting to you as Elven Ring consciousness, that you have the potential to grow your entire celestial city, which will then echo in to this realm through the astral. They like this. The elves really, really like this frequency. So we have 32, Eris. So they're talking about This is the energy of agitation. This is sacred rage. So I'm being shown you screaming. It's like the seeds, plant the seed into the ground, and it's almost like strange noises. You have to voice, scream life into being. Chaotic creation. Chaotic creation. This notion that you need some kind of disruptor to break free, and that disruptor is this. It is elf energy. The elves, the elven ring, is the energy that holds form, but it holds form as a collective. So when you give your energy up, when you give a new dream seed and explain to the elven ring what your purpose of planting that seed there is, then it can come down through the astral and into the world, and it can scream into life. So the other day, it rained here after a thunderstorm. And the next day, and it rained overnight, and it was a real lot of rain with the most terrific storm. And that was like this energy, this agitator frequency. It rolled in a way across the heavens like I'd never heard thunder roll. And the next day, because this place here has a dry season for 6 months and a wet season for 6 months, when a wet season starts, the life in the ground screams. It doesn't just kind of have this soft, wet appreciation of water and emotions. This is ground, this is plants, this is insects that scream to life. It's ferocious. And that's this energy. You need to have a ferocity in how you wish to be in the world. So let's have some Morgan Greer Tarot. Feels a lot like the sort of energy of Seven of Pentacles, the inevitable harvest. So, it begins with the Nine of Cups, the Wish card, Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter's about to leave Pisces, but Jupiter will go back into Pisces when it retrogrades in July. I feel here that it is to do with water. It is to do with moistening emotions. You've then got the Two of Wands. Again, this is that seed, dream seed, speaking your desires. Oh, they're making me look at the big seeds behind these. You know, you have to plant dream seeds to the elven ring to create possibilities, vision, and handing the seed to this other person. Sorry, this side. And then the last card is the Chariot. Then you get movement. Your movement out of your fog comes when you start to plant dream seeds. It's almost like you've been sitting in that field and left alone, and you've let all of your dreams just kind of become dry, because they're showing me again the land here, how all of the mango leaves that had fallen all around as you walked on them were very loud. Even the smallest little birds, when they bobbed around on the leaves, sounded like really big creatures. And as soon as the rain came, the whole frequency changed. It was all softened, it was all moist. You need to kind of ignite your water meadow. So, Lenormand. That's interesting. Your first card is how the first reading ended. There. Wake up. Wake up from being in hibernation. Find your essence, your true power lies in the creativity of your dreams. It's all about growing new seeds. This is a card of luck. This is a card that's got very much Sagittarian energy, but it's like clover. Once you plant these seeds, you know, nature's playing a little symphony for you, and you are the plants. Those around you are the plants, but you've got to plant dreams for you and the Elven Ring. Dreams that the Elven Ring would love to sustain, but you've got to create a disruptor energy. You've got to really speak it, frequency it, shout it into being. So that was rune number 2. I'll put all of those back before we go on to rune 3. Tricky getting these in. So they reminded me again, just as we're going off this, peals of laughter. Peals of laughter. There's something about laughter being part of the disruptor energy. Laughter making dreams grow better. That's interesting. So I need to pull this up, get a timestamp for rune number 3. So, rune number 3 is coming in at 58, 30. So, did you pick rune number 3? Welcome to your reading in a hammock. So, we're going to begin with the bells of Neptune to see what might be in your fault waiting to get out. The filling noise now. So, here we go. That's the weirdest image I've had in my head for a long time. So, there's a lot of this is to do with childhood somehow. So, I was shown ice cream. Then I was shown ice cream falling to the ground. I was shown disappointment. But I was also shown like a very small pony or a donkey walking in the ice cream and seeing like little white ice cream shaped prints of a horseshoe off in the distance. It's just a very weird image. So, like, holiday disappointment maybe is a frequency in there. Losing. There's something about. There's something scolding about it. Like someone adult being a bit angry with you for letting that happen rather than just going and buying another ice cream. Anyway, that's what came. So, let's go the runes. And let's pick you a single rune and get you a poem for the rune. For rune number 3. You see, you already know what the rune is. I don't know what it is yet. I'll know once I've mounted them all up. Summarizing. I don't know what that means. They're putting the word summarizing into my head. Summarizing. Right, so I'm seeing like seeing school tests. So, we've got one. Mann. Myself and humankind. Your smoky mirror. Something about how you have an inability to see yourself as human. That's interesting. You don't see yourself as human. Maybe that there's some kind of starseed frequency rolling around. Let's find, what number is it? 20. Let's find your poem. Okay, so, Mann, number 20. To be one with yourself, but also to be one with the space around you. To be one, all and everything. To be the symbol of a symbiotic shared expression of self and other. To be a part of a greater whole, solo but integral to the shared tribal soul. Singing in the chorus but holding firm to a melody of your own making and inspiring others. 20. Mann. To be one with yourself, but also to be one with the space around you. To be one, all and everything. To be the symbol of a symbiotic shared expression of self and other. To be a part of the greater whole, solo but integral to the shared tribal soul. Singing in the chorus but holding firm to a melody of your own making and inspiring others. So I got a few different things during that. I would say that there is an energy of feeling temporary, feeling that you need to join in the chorus but not really enjoying the tune of life. So let's go with Odin and the Nine Realms and let's see if we can get some clarification on this Smoky foggy mirror, whilst remembering those horseshoes and ice cream. Let's put those back so they don't blow away. We've got two. Interesting, you've got the same one that room number 1 began with, Eorðgrap. And that's walking, stepping towards a destiny, an inevitable destiny. They're saying a mission. Mann, mission. I'm having trouble getting that card underneath there. And then you've got Skadi, goddess of the snowshoes. That's those ice cream horseshoe prints. So let me have a little look here. It's there's a half-baked song coming into my head to do with walking. It's not walking back to happiness. It's something about wherever your steps have been, where you step. It's not like a tune that's from here. It's like a tune from somewhere else, from another dimension, another place, another galaxy. It's something to do with steps, moving, footprints, markers in sand. But it's not that easy because this world, wherever I'm seeing, it's not like here. It's something else. There's something very, what do I want to say? There's something very indigo coloured, dark, light, frequency. There's something very desperately, deeply nourishing, deeply meditative. This is some kind of other place, is how I can describe it. It's not like it's a veil behind some energy of this world. This is somewhere else in the galaxy. It's not like an energy I've seen before of anything to do with Sirius. It feels somewhere else. I mean, I kind of sense Arcturus, but I really can't say. I've never seen this place before. It's deep, meditative, blue light. And it's like the whole light sings, vibrates, and there's something about it's so slow moving. I mean, it's barely moving, but it's vibrating, and it's like your entire life, your entire being, philosophy sits in this space, and the space records the impression of you. That's what this, and it's sweet. I don't know on the tongue. I mean, it's blissful. It's so, so they're showing me it as like a kind of bath. It's not water though. It's this indigo. It's Indigo is a very difficult word because indigo, it's a deep blue. Let's just say that. It's a deep, light energy of very thick, but it's so clear. This is really difficult to find words for. You kind of, you move into this energy, or this energy moves around you. Are you born there, or do you arrive there? There's something about you just somehow being in this frequency. You arrive in this energy, and then you sit. I want to say in contemplation, but that isn't what it is. You're not contemplating. You are. In this world, in this realm, you are the world. But are you connected to the whole of it? It's the space around you. That's what the poem was about. It's this space around you. I'm also being shown a different kind of energy. I'm also being shown the code, the key for when you wish to move from that space. Wish to move, do move, time's up. Is there that sense that you go there? This place feels addictive. This place feels so, it's almost like you were there before you were here. And you sat in this place and it's so sublime. Its light frequency is so mellifluous that it's almost like you don't want to be picked to leave. It's like the most stupendously calm high. And it's like you feel into other dimensions, you see into other dimensions, you witness, it's not quite witness, it's like, so I might go somewhere and visit somewhere, and while I'm there I can have a profoundly beautiful experience, and yet somehow some Skadi, we're going to call the world Skadi for the moment, connects through some kind of cosmic Jormungandr thread, and they witness but also co-create your experience at that moment. And they might stay working with you in a very, they're not controlling you. And you're not remotely controlling them, but you're sharing something, and their blissful desire is like it's like a frequency that's vibrating that you can choose to tune into, be aware of. It's like they're the holding the bliss magic. This is a space of, there's something, you might want to call it angelic, you might want to call it elven, you might want to call it starseed, you might want to call it magus, you might want to call it witchcraft. It could be anything, but this is some kind of place where the frequency of you being connected to things that are esoterically mystical brings bliss to them and you. Anyway, that was a really weird. gorgeous. I want to say I want to go there, but there must be a version of me that is there, because there's a version of everyone in all these places. But I do feel like you are made to leave. So I didn't explain. When you're made to leave, like a golden light opens, and it's almost like the mouth of a wormhole, a Jormungandr, and then it pulls, and you travel all the way down the wormhole, which is the inside of the snake's body, and then you're born somewhere. It's like a kind of pre-incarnation station. So, lunar eclipse. So, there's some kind of energy with this lunar eclipse that's coming up on the 16th, begins with the solar eclipse on the 30th. You're going to be given a chance, this esoteric shadow gift, to almost feel, glimpse, connect to this someone up there who can bring you this bliss energy, a shadow gift. It's a test of time. It's a growth period. It's an emotional opportunity to work with this mystical being. I feel like they could be, like you would say, a tribal family. Oh, that's interesting. There's a sneaky couple of runes in here. And I feel like they're part of this message. You just look. Not sure how they got in there. Anyway, night. Turn dark. You see, this is an energy of trolling people. It came out with the fire, and that's what's really interesting, fair, which is afterlife. I feel like both of these cards are talking about you've got to unblock, you've got to open the wormhole, you've got to connect. The turn dark, there's something about this being a connection within, not sleep, but not even really a meditation, but it is, I guess, a meditation. But you don't need to, you've almost got to just switch off shadows. Maybe that's the day you do it. Maybe you sit in the frequency of the earth, the shadow of the earth blocking out the moon. When it turns dark, this aether fire is like this blue, deep blue, meditative energy that I spoke of. There's something that connects for you post the 16th, but I think on the 16th, if you can find a way to sit in the shadow of, to see the moon, to see something for its truth and not for its sort of sun hidden, flattened energy, but to see the spherical truth of it in its darkness will connect you. So let's go to my old original deck of tarot. It's like a dialogue. A dialogue with an old tribe. It's in the stars. It's another galaxy. It's another life. It's another place. And it's healing. It's mixing your cosmic waters, refreshing your cosmic waters. So it's an energy you've lost or have forgotten or you know of, but you've not felt connected to it. And in this moment, if you can sit, you will reconnect with a memory of a place of blue light that you've lived in. And you may have lived in there in terms of like, you may have watched 100 lives. You may have watched 1,000. It's just, there's something, when I said earlier about the slowness of it, it's long, 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 long time of being in this deep, deep blue bliss. Do we have another message, please? Do we have another message, please? Do we have another message? Do we have another message? They're showing me this as the difference between swiftness and slowness. The energy of just the different frequency. It's almost like, it's like a fleeting gift, like a kiss from a cosmic family. It will feel short, but to them, it's like that moment they see all that you've been and all that you will be, and that will somehow envelop you, but to you it will seem very fast, very brief, and yet it's something you're longing for so much. Right, so one more. Oh, wishes. Wishes are kisses. It's what you wished for. This is what you've been wishing for so long. And what they can give you will feel like a kiss, as I said, a brief moment. But its long-term potential is that it returns. You see, I wanted to say coding, but they're like, it's not coding. What it returns is, they're saying familiarness. Something familiar will come back to you. So, letter. I feel like this is a letter that you wrote to yourself there. This is stuff you've seen there. It's, so they're saying it brings you, this is like a pre-incarnation energy of dream stories, potentials, remembrances, things you've witnessed. It's like that's being delivered back inside you with their kiss. I just want to say, I hope you picked this, Kathy, because it's got a white dove that nearly landed on your head today. And then it's got a pelican. This will anchor you in. You don't feel anchored. You just never felt anchored. And this connection with your ancient soul tribe from another galaxy will anchor in your mission moving forwards, will make you understand the reason that you're here right now. Why that golden light picked you to do something here. That's beautiful. So let's put all the cards back and we move on to another rune. I just have to put them all back separately because I don't like. I say I don't like same cards to come out, but that's with all the decks I've got, that keeps happening, which is very, very interesting. I also love that sneaky couple of runes. I mean, the thing is, the runes are on one side at the top, and the Alchemy of Astrology is at the front on the other deck. So how they got in there, I have no idea. So let's just go to rune number 4. Rune number 4. 1 hour 26 and 20 seconds. So, did you pick rune number 4? So let's do the bell and let's just see what we get. Right. Very lower back coccyx frequency. Someone's got backache. Well, I don't know how many of you this is going to matter to. So there's a couple of parts. Part of it is my own personal Jesus, that song, whatever it is, came in very clearly. Then there was something really that struck and broke a life. Something broke a life, and this person ended up in monastery, nunnery, 12th century Paris. Very specific. I'm also seeing sewers. I don't know much about Paris in that period. I really don't. But it could just be, could be something that matters to someone who's going to go, this is absolutely my message. But yeah. And I wanted to say nunnery, but they were like monastery, and then I added nunnery. Anyway, that's what came through the bells. Let's do a rune and get a poem for number 4. There. Something about neatness. Wake up, Wacan. Originate. So, I'm being told to say, do you think that the past is as important as the now, as you waking up? So, Wacan is 69. Let's see what we get, get? What we get? Okay, Wacan, 69. Day slides to night and back to day. We slumber and glide through clouds of grey. So much room for yawning, sprawling, gloomy, slow, pointless moments in time we call lifeless living. Fall down and stumble. Trip yourself up and look around. Why are you so attached to the millstones, grinding your bones to ashes? Smash your way out of the illusion and wake up. See the soft rays of the sun that shines on the living Midgard. So again, Wacan 69. Day slides to night and back to day. We slumber and glide through clouds of grey. So much room for yawning, sprawling, gloomy, slow, pointless moments in time we call lifeless living. Fall down and stumble. Trip yourself up and look around. Why are you so attached to the millstones, grinding your bones to ashes? Smash your way out of the illusion and wake up. See the soft rays of the sun that shines on the living Midgard. Right, this is interesting. I'm getting a whole series of different things. I'm going to have to try and talk very quickly before they go. So, they're almost going now. They're really fleeting images. One, these past lives that you're trapped in are not your own. They're in your DNA, and you need their millstones around your neck. Secondly, the light of the soft light of Midgard is some kind of frequency to do with Sirius. It's a softer straw energy. You're looking for that energy. It's like the frequency of Sirius is coming down and joining with the light of our sun. And we don't see it. We see the harsher sun and not the softer sun. So the images I'm being shown being pulled in two directions, and neither direction is the truth. You've got to smash out of that tunnel. You're caught in a corridor, and the corridor is full of DNA doors. And as you open each door, you see a DNA memory within you that belongs to someone else but not you. It's not your dream. You're looking at somebody else's life that's carried in your frequency. Every single door, there's loads of them. Everywhere you look, you're opening doors and you're seeing somebody else's life and confusing it with your own because it resonates. And you've got to actually, somewhere, there's like a kind of emergency hammer, a Mjolnir. So I'm hearing that song, Emergency, State of Emergency, some Björk song. Matthew will let you know. Yeah, you've got to break out. You've got to find the emergency key. You've got to break the brickwork. Somewhere, it's like you break open, smash the glass and pull the chain and stop that juggernaut of other people's lives ruling your own. That's your smoky mirror. Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. So, there's something very rapid. There's something like you're on a hotel train, but you can't see out the windows. You can see out the windows occasionally if you open the door and go in and get completely, I mean, like almost drowned in the energy of past lives. They're not yours. They're in your DNA. They're memories. They're codes. And you're looking at them and you're trying to apply them to a thought process of your own existence, and they don't match. They don't belong to you. So let's go in. They're showing me to look at that and say the gift of love. There's something about love that's part of the millennia of Hammer. There's something about love. Venus, Freya, Friday. Okay. Hidden birthright. So, you can't see it. You can't see it because you're on the train, rattling round, seeing everybody else's existence and not your own birthright. So, I'm seeing mountain ranges. I'm seeing like you're at the top of a journey. You've reached the highest point, but you need to stop the train. You need to stop the train and then bust your way out of the carriage. So that's interesting. They're now saying that there is a door on that train that's yours, but you don't know which one it is. That's really fascinating. So, there's a past life on that train that's you. But it's a fragment of you. It's something I can't work out. I can't work out whether it's just an energetic frequency of love that you didn't see in a past life that's been cleansed, abluted, or whether it's in somehow coded into the DNA. I can't seem to. It's like a cross stitch in time where something in your DNA, you chose this DNA, this body, so that you could be given the access to find this past life. Like you've come back in to an ancestral song cycle that you've been in before to pick up on that. So you keep opening doors and they're everybody else's. They're not the life you're meant to see. How do you, the smoky mirror is to wake up to the truth of your own unresolved chord that's part of the frequency of the train. But is that door just openable? Or is it, as I say, like you've got to find a special key. You've got to break out. Let's get another card. Come on, let's help these people. Can't remember what rune they are. Rune 4. I got lost in the messages. There it goes. It's gone quite a way, and there's two others that sort of want to get involved. Oh, this came out in Rune 2. Hagal, a hailstorm. And then the other two, Midgard, again, mountains, Alpine Pass, Alpine Pass. Why did that, they're showing me that as like a pass, as in like a key, an Alpine Pass. It's like, so they're showing me Alpine, they're showing me dairy, they're showing me milk, they're showing me frozen, rime, ice, Anthumbla, the holy cow, she nurtured Ymir, and he's the grandfather of everything. So, it's like the key, the Alpine Pass, is locked, frozen inside the rhyme. So it's like you got to lick it out. You've got to somehow. You've got to. It's like they're showing me the cow licking the salt rhyme, and the key being inside. But I don't know how that works for you. But you're up this. They keep showing me mountains. They keep saying you're at the highest point of this now. Oh, come on. I need some other card on it because that's not coming out. But that's what I feel like this energy is for you. It's like you've opened so many past life doors and you've glimpsed inside, whether it be through dreams or therapies. And each one is not a part of the jigsaw at all. That's what's so fascinating about it. There's only this key in the salt rhyme. Where's the salt rhyme? Compartmentalized. Isn't that what this is to do with? This is when you separate everything. Hidden truths, the hidden key. Right, so there's something about you're witnessing these other lives coded in your DNA, and you're seeing both good and bad in those. But when you see the bad ones, you're kind of thinking, what is it that you need to be punished for? There's a masochistic energy within this frequency. But in order to get past it, it's kind of, there's a thing called diamagnetism. So, you could say that this was my magnet, and one side of my magnet will repel it, will attract this, and the other side will repel it. But when I put the magnet on to the side that attracts it, there's a way in which you can transform your own atomic frequency so that you're not pulled into this frequency of the wrong door, of the other lives. You need to spin into your own energy so that you can leave the train. You don't even have to stop the train. It's like you're magnetized to the corridor of this train. And you need to unstick yourself from the train. So whether that's stopping the train, the key is within your frequency of love. The energy within you that's your true consciousness can elevate you somehow out of this train, out of this energy of other people's lives. confusing you. And Pluto, it's very interesting because as I went in then, there was a headline from Anton Petrov about Pluto. Just realised it probably won't be there again now. And it isn't. But give me a moment and I'll see if I can glimpse in. Pluto's at 27, 28. It's retrograding soon. But it's at 28 at the moment. It's just, oh no, press the wrong button. That one down there. That's weird. It's not in that bit. Let me see if it's in the messages. It was a message. It's not there. It definitely had a Pluto story. There was a Pluto story. He's actually saying that there's a twin to Jupiter found. So, Pluto story. Spinning in a different frequency. Sorry, that was a card that was in my hand, Eros. This is that energy of, Eros originally was love. Before it was Venus and Aphrodite. It was the fourth primordial god, the frequency of love. And so, behind the energy of Pluto, in its form, is love. Everything is birth of love. There's something about tuning in. That's your diamagnetism, love. You've got to find a way to be playful with this train image. It's very confusing. This is a hard one. Here we go. We're getting the answer now. So here we have Quar. See, I always want to sing, oh, I'm a cider drinker. Cosmic Shaman, true mystical experience is what you seek as the key to break free. That's your birthright, is your true mystical experience. You're not getting it. This is the singer of existence, the sacred song of life. That's what you need to tune into. It's the frequency of love as creative energy. And that's what will free you from, it's like the train is the rhyme. You are the key. You need to lick yourself out of that experience. That's what you need to do to get out. You need to pull the cord on your own disappointments with things and your own. There's a cost to bliss. So some of these past lives you've been looking at, they excite you. They make you feel special. And that's keeping you trapped on this train. You could be seeing a life in a dimension where you are, some kind of spiritual leader, God figure, deity, and that energy is within you, but you see those moments, and that's giving you a really narcissistic energy that's actually this is really weird. It's like experiencing a kind of spiritual egotism that acts as a complete bliss bringer, but it's a masochism. It's a dangerous energy. It's something you shouldn't be experiencing. So, let's move on to the tarot. That was a bit burp, 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 burp. These runes and this space up here is tuning me into some very difficult frequencies. But we've got to get out of them. Well, I say we, I didn't pick that rune. You picked that rune. So this is my old original tarot deck. What would you like to add to the hurtling train of self-abuse? The magnetic frequency of spiritual egotism. That's what that train is. Glimpsing at all them past lives. Punishing yourself for the good and the bad. So what do we have here? 2 cards. Oh, look, see? It's so beautiful. You have all of the drama of all of the doors, all of the DNA doors, all of the different lives, all of the different galaxies, all of the different incarnations you experience behind those doors, but they are all smoky mirror fog. They're not real. They're coded within you, but they're delusions, and they're harming you. The other card, what do you need to see? The truth. Awaken to the truth. Awaken to the life that is really you. And it's not a door, as I thought earlier. It's outside of that form. You have to break free from the entire delusion. Wake up to the world around you. I can smell like burning. Really smoky, burny smell, like the train's on fire and you really need to pull the emergency cord and get off. Oh. Yeah, look, 26. Neptune, Pisces, a little bit of Jupiter twin. There is something about that Jupiter twin, which is the spiritual egotism. So this is, it's almost, it's coming across as 2 things. It's coming across a book, an encyclopedia of all the lives in all those DNA doors. The memory of them, very akashic. And yet at the same time, it's the book of your truth that you've never opened. I know, that's quite harsh. Sure, I've never opened my own either. I feel like I probably managed to get the buckle off, but I still haven't opened and seen who it's dedicated to. I assume my life's dedicated to me. But this book is both the past and you need to close it, and it's a book that needs opening on a new chapter. The awakened chapter. So, tower, look, there, that's nun in a tower. Didn't we start with monastery? Paris. This reminds me of the frequency of the nuns when I was in Eorðgrap. And I went into that ossuary, and there were all of these nuns who cannot break their spiritual trusts. So they were there, ancestors came, parents came, loved ones came and said to them, you're dead and it's time to leave this ossuary and come and live another life. And these nuns would say to all of the people that came through, I don't trust you, I know you're the devil. And that's you with this spiritual egotism. You need to understand that there's a different spiritual pathway awaiting for you. There are eggs on the sand. This is Saturn. This is the restriction of your current belief system. that you need to break free from. Get off that train. It's been fun. It's been a good journey and you were meant to be on it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not your truth. So, where's it taking you? Mountain. It's taking you past the fucking enormous blockage that is that train. It's a train wreck. It needs crashing. You need climbing out of it. And you need to go round the blockage. Leave it all behind. And then you get the sun. Then you get the nourishment. Then you get the truth. But you've got to wake up to, look, these are not like some kind of devil frequency came down and tricked you and went, I'm going to plant a load of false past life memories in you. They're coded in you. They're doors, DNA doors. You open them. You saw inside. You're meant to. What you need to do now is wake up to the fact that they're not your truth. Your truth is out of that. You need to spin your energy so that you can relieve yourself of that train ride. It's been a good journey, but it's time to get out into the world now, for real. So, that's yours. Let's put all these back and we'll start on number 5. I'm just thinking, I know I said I was going to do 6, but this will take about a year to upload. That's all right. I can, I'm going to go and play with my new cooking machine that I've got. I am going to start sharing some recipes with you as well. I tried doing one today because, you know, I'm quite used to talking on camera, but actually I can smell cooking now. But actually when you do a cooking recipe on camera, you actually need a storyboard because you've got to keep chopping between you chatting and food cooking. So I did have a go to practice it. I've learned what I can and can't do, and I need to plan ahead. Also, I've got very, very small kitchen, so I've got to work out how and where I can put things for camera angles. It's not like I can cook in real time. You know, you have to cook in a kind of fake time and pretend it's real. But I will be sharing food for gummies. People that can't bite really tough food because they've either got a denture or like me, they're waiting for it and they've just got gums. But look, I'm owning that frequency. I was traumatised by it at first for several years as all my teeth fell out. And now I own it. So, let's get a timestamp for number 5. Oh, I opened that looking for Pluto and didn't find him. Let's go back into this. Let's hope it doesn't mess me about. So, rune number 5 is... Oh, come on. 01 58 and 40 seconds. Right, so did you pick rune number 5? 5, 5, 5. If you did, welcome to your rune reading. And let's get some cards. Actually, I need a sip of water. When I started this 2 hours ago, it's really cool. Now it's hot. Oh, actually, before we do the runes, I have to ring the bells. And then I tune in to what the bells are saying. I wanted to say, and that's what made me remember, sakura blossoms, cherry blossoms. Anyway, rune number 5. So, timidity. They were the softest bell bangs I think I've ever experienced. I had to really consciously, with each one after the first, to say strike louder, and each one didn't really. What was the other thing I was seeing? Shopping trolleys. The empty shopping trolleys. I wasn't seeing like bags or foods and tins. It was just an empty shopping trolley. Whether you was just about to go shopping. I also did get a very strong energy of Japan after the sakura blossoms. And an energy of bamboo scaffolding, and I don't know what that's to do with. Like building something that bends with the wind. Being flexible, I guess, would be one of the energies. Anyway, let's look for a rune, read the poem, and then dive into your rune. I love this bit because obviously you picked this rune. I don't know what the rune is yet. Love that screeching bird. Wah. So, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have for 5? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have for 5? We got 1. Eorðgrap. Eorðgrap. So this is Earth's grip or fated. So let's have a look. $29. Let me change them. There. I don't know why I couldn't find that one. Eorðgrap. Oh, yes. I don't think I've ever read this poem back. So, Eorðgrap 29. Thrice burned, thrice returned, famed and renamed, forgotten yet recalled by Odin from her gravelled realm, Eorðgrap, old one of the ironwood grave. He asked this Utenseer how she cheated death. He listened but did not hear. You might cheat your past and rise, craft another future and rise, but the now will eventually find you. Our vessels are from the earth, and they will be returned there. So now I'm seeing why Sakura, it's the blossom petals falling to the tree, like the blousy, false story. The kind of way in which we create our lives, tell ourselves lies, and they fall to the ground and they return to the ground and they become the nourishments to feed the roots. So let me read that again, but also because I forgot there's the word Utenseer, which is the eaten one. Oh, that's in the tombs of Atuan. And Erten is also sort of earth, the earth seer. So something that's a cathartic deity from under the earth. And she was called Eorðgrap, and 3 times they burn her and 3 times she returns, and that's the past, the present and the now. But in the end, her body, her vessel had to be returned to the earth's grip. So there's something about transientness, but there's something about truthfulness. Anyway, I'll read it again, then we'll go into it. 29, Eorðgrap. Thrice burnt, thrice returned, famed and renamed, forgotten yet recalled by Odin from her gravelled realm. Eorðgbóða, old one in the ironwood grave. He asked this Itensir how she cheated death. He listened, but he did not hear. You might cheat your past and rise, craft another future and rise, but the now will eventually find you. Our vessels are from the earth, and they will be returned there. So Odin goes to this grave in the ironwood space to ask this giantess, and she is one of the very earliest beings, supposed to be partly responsible for the death of the golden age of the gods. And he asked her, could he avoid the destiny of Ragnarok? And she said no. There's the important line, I think, here for you is, you ask questions, but you don't hear the answers. It's a little bit like sometimes we all seek answers from the esoteric, and we are given an answer, and yet we hear only the energy we wish to hear. We don't hear the absolute truth on offer. So your cloud, your smoky mirror, is seeking answers but not listening to them. Like the answers are given to you. You get the answers but you don't apply them because you don't hear them. So, okay, so epigenetics. You see now that is interesting. So, epigenetics is a way in which we change the markers of our DNA and how we can change things, they say, through speech. And my host here was explaining to me a really interesting way of thinking about epigenetics, and that's why they gave me the Japan connection. That's how I've got to this story. So, a tree, look, these wonderful trees all around us. I'm ground first, second floor. I'm 3 stories high. These are big, tall trees. There's big, tall trees everywhere. This is a jungle, but this is also a place laden with mangoes. And they're big trees. They're Yggdrasil energy. They have a DNA code like we have a DNA code. And yet they grow and fill their space, and trees work with each other to decide how much space each needs so that they can all still benefit from sunlight. And yet, if you go to the art of Japanese bonsai trees, you can take any tree growing and keep trimming it, keep telling it, keep cutting it, to tell it it's not allowed to be big, it's not allowed to be huge, it's not allowed to get outside of its box, and eventually the bonsai will be tamed. Its epigenetic level will transform and it will stop trying to be its full truth. That's you, somehow. Epigenetics. If you can put epigenetics in a place, you can undo them. Something about speaking to your DNA, the loving, singing, talking, beauty back into your body. This is definitely about body. This is not a consciousness thing. This is about how your consciousness has restricted your body. Tear, smelt. Like you've trimmed it off. You've pruned. You've made yourself less. Your body is less. Your truth is less. You've hammered yourself into fitting something that's not you, fitting into the world in a way that's not you. You've caught yourself. You've restricted yourself. That's your fog. And Tyr is a former god of gods. In the original Proto-Germanic stories, Tyr, Tiwaz, Tuesday, is prime god. And this is about being modified, being mollified, being pinched. And then you have Heimdall. This is retuning yourself. This is really about the frequency of retuning your body. And I really mean your vessel, talking to your vessel, talking to your being, changing your DNA, rewriting your blueprint through Galdir magic, voicing magic, calling magic, singing magic. Galdir comes from Garland, which is to sing, and originally you had the nightingale. Oh, so again, there's another story that's coming out here through the nightingale that's to do with you're not being true to yourself. You're lying to yourself. That's your fog. So in about 1929, that's helping me. There was a very famous broadcast that the BBC did live with a cellist, a famous cellist, I forget her name, and she played and she said a nightingale would sing along with her. And for years it's been a very famous piece. This nightingale sings so beautifully with what she's playing. And just the other day it's been revealed, because modern science can analyse the bird song on the recording, it was a lie. It wasn't. It was a siffler, a woman whistler from the music halls who was taken along in case the nightingale didn't sing, and she would whistle as if she was the nightingale. So there's something in this energy, and there's the hummingbird of love. I've never heard this sound before. You need to sing your truth to retune your body. Your body is hurting. I'm getting the energy of being in pain, particularly here, like it's affecting your lower chest and solar plexus joy. But yeah, you need to retune your whole body on an epigenetic level. You need to celebrate your truths, your body truths. And you've been allowing them to be pruned and to stop functioning and to not work properly. And that's part of a belief that's also not true, that as we age, we become incapable. We're capable of so much. There's also a lovely quote that oddly Rune spoke to me about, but the day before, another friend of mine, Jonathan, had sent me, and it's rather weird in that it's from Audrey Hepburn, but it's saying that nothing is impossible because in that word, it contains I'm possible. So nothing is impossible because everything I'm possible. It's all doable. You can retune your whole frequency to be something more than you currently are. Rather than thinking you're fading towards a return of your molecules to the earth, buzz your molecules back alive, make your body, oh, the wind's really wanting to get this one. I feel like it's going to steal a card, holding them very low so I can catch them. Oh, balmy, really hot air. Really hot air, really moist, really warm, like it's like breathing with new life. Breathing with new life. So I'm going to count 29. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Birds. Look, this is really interesting. This is Dark Moon Lily. Prodigal, empowered, self-truth, unrecognised sovereignty, non-tangible majesty. It's tuning this dark side of the moon, this ethereal point in our natal charts and in the astral world, bringing it in. There's this energy which is authentic sexuality. I'm not saying you're all lying and you need to come out. What I mean by authentic sexuality is authentically acknowledging that you have not sexual power, but that you have a consciousness that links into your body in a kind of sexual magnificence. So not thinking your body is dying from the energy of being sexual, being resplendent. Sexual in many ways in this is about being empowered in your attractiveness, regardless of what comes. Reconnecting with your... it's sort of like saying, it's that Japanese card. Oh, that's really interesting. I have to show you it. Lily. Oh, Lily. Lilith. Wonderful. And it's a moon card. Ah, and this is a bit bonsai. She's got the bonsai scissors. So this is a card about reconnecting with an empowered sexuality as a mature person. This is about, it's not really about saying, make your body lovable so that you can go out and have sexual intercourse. That's not what this energy is. This energy is about reconnecting with the beauty of your body, because when we feel beautiful, we are sexually attractive. So this is about reconnecting, empowering your inner beauty. I'm going to put that card back because you never know, it might pop out later. But I love that synchronicity that brought. And I did 29 because this is 29. So if I don't get a card jump, I do the same thing again. Oh, I did get a card jump. And I also got a card hidden in the deck, which is like an energy that's available to you, but you have to actively seek it. Other energies, when they fall, are energies that are around us now. So Moon in Gemini. Shoulders, arms, necks, lungs, breathing issues. I feel like this is talking about, this is a prior moment. The moon, you have to be creative. You have to know the moon cycles. You're being asked to connect to the moon cycles. So know when the moon is going into Gemini. Because at the moment, what matters is that Lilith is in Cancer. So you need to be ahead of this game. You need to be doing your Heimdall epigenetics, retuning, pruning, snipping ahead of time. So that then when we get to the moon in Lilith, it connects. You need to network it in as you move ahead. And then the hidden energy that you've got to then grab is retrograde, take. You need to take control of your own pruning, your own growth. You need to remove the illusions, the fog. You need to do it, but that energy isn't just going to come at you. You have to take this energy. You have to create it. It's to sweep out. It's to acknowledge, I want to say to acknowledge what you would be told is impossible. You see, it's a little bit like Odin goes to the giantess and wakes up on the grave, and he says to her, "Can I stop my destiny?" And she says no. Why can't he stop his destiny? Because he didn't believe he could. If you want to do something, you have to have self-belief. You have to take the energy. So Sidir magic is when we ask a prophecy and then we accept the prophecy and work on it. But there is another energy which is Gnothi Soten, know yourself. And if you decide it's what will be your future, it doesn't matter how many readers read or tell you prophecies or anything, you have control over your own incoming frequencies, your own created futures. You have the ability to redefine everything in your life. So, let's get some of the old tarot deck on here. Although I suspect there's not much more to come, we'll see. But that's a very powerful message, is to own yourself. You retune. Now that's interesting. We just talked about how this is not empowering you into a kind of sexual or loving relationship, and yet that's another of the energies that's available to grab. This is clear your smoky mirror, and what we see in the reflection is your perfect soulmate, your mirror soul. Not just you, but your mirror soul. But that's an energy that's not just happening. You got to work to find that frequency. Love. It's the frequency of love. But you've got to retune your epigenetics. Interesting. Any other cards to go with it that are actually energies that are tumbling? Cosmic completedness. Cosmic completedness. I'm just remembering, I need to go back to the moon. Shoulders, arms, hands, lungs. I'm getting a lung energy. Like you're not breathing in the fullness of life. You're almost, it's like you're not breathing deep enough because you don't believe that you need that much air, that much oxygen, that much, whatever you want to call it, the breath of life. You need to breathe deeper. You need to complete you rather than, it's like you climbed a mountain and now you're going back down the other side. Finish the journey along the mountain. That's got a lot of spiritual energy around it. Your tune ain't done. Do we have one more? Oh, there we go. Yeah, look. It's a battle. It's a battle against all the DNA, all of the versions of you. It's like an internal war, but you can do whatever you want in that internal war because the cards have just shown you that it's yours to win. You control your truth, not anybody else. So, what have we got? This just came out in the last reading. Book. There's a whole part of your life. There's more and more pages waiting to be written on. And you've almost just shut the book up, shut up shop, waiting around. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the Eorðgrap to take your body back? Don't do that. That comes anyway. That's a point in time. That's a little bit what she was saying to Odin. It comes, but it's up to you. I don't usually say that. I usually say there's a destined point. But you can extend things. Dog. Dog is about loyalty. Dog is about being home. Dog is also House 11, dreams. So I'm being shown extending time. If you burn with the passion of life, you extend your time. So that's really fascinating because that's not what I believe at all. I always believe that you have a destined point. That is your inevitable Ragnarok. But what they're now saying is that there are several Ragnaroks. And by having a passion for living, a passion for life, a passion for you, a passion for anything that keeps you living, you put off your Ragnarok. If you doom gloom the Ragnarok, the inevitable, the earth will grip you quicker. That is interesting. One more card. So, what happens when they grab everything and really get excited to live? Whoa! You get a new key. You get something fabulously wonderful. Success comes along and grabs you and makes life more special. So, don't give up. Give a shit instead and get yourself better. So, let's move on to the last one. Pull the cards back first, and then we'll move on to the 6th rune. I get excited because I wonder where the next rune will be and what it will be. I love doing these because I have no idea what's coming with any of them. And these are, I love doing a load of research, looking at astral charts. And sometimes it's so beautiful to just let messages come through for people and to just see what they are. Oh, I need a drink of water, but look, I got my cold water. Oh, that's so beautiful. I had visions of myself pouring it over my head. I'm not going to do that. So we need to get a timestamp. And then we do the bells. And then we do the rune poem. So rune 6 is 02 31 30. So did you pick rune 6? I'll leave that there because we're doing bells first to see what comes through the bell zone. Concentrate. So, first bell, cotton wool, blanket, being wrapped up. Second bell, not comfortable with it, feeling irritable, can't sleep. Third bell, really, really irritable now, really pissed off, not comfortable, not happy, all that kind of energy. That's your smoky mirror. Doesn't matter how good life is, you're never satisfied. So let's pick a rune and find a poem. And let's get into your story. So I'm going to rifle them. Push that back, make a bit more space. This is 2.5 hours. It's going to be 3 hours. It's going to take so long to upload. I won't be able to use my computer now for the rest of the day. Can't do any work on the computer. Right, rune 6. I thought it was night, but actually it's sigil. It's life force. Sun. 16. Oh, pressed the wrong button. So, 16. Sigil. I have to just quickly read it because I have to prepare myself for any F's and V's. Little firework noises. Right, so 16 sigil. Maker of all things, force of warmth, melting ice to release physical existence. Imbued with being, the life-creating light that shines and shifts. This nomadic force fights to remain in flux, fluid and flowing. To step with the sun is to sail the cosmic sea and be as light and alive as a precious jewel pinned upon the rolling sky above. Siegel, 16, maker of all things, force of warmth, melting ice to release physical existence. Imbued with being, the life-creating light that shines and shifts. This nomadic force fights to remain in flux, fluid and flowing. To step with the sun is to sail the cosmic sea and be as light and alive as a precious jewel pinned upon the rolling sky above. So that's that energy of being in tune with the fluidity of life, and life's wrapping you in this, and you are discontented. So let's go with Odin and the Nine Realms and see where we're getting with this. Loving that bird. That was interesting because I haven't been able to whistle since my teeth were out. And I just did. No idea what sort of bird that is. There's also yellow birds around, and there's also very yellowy green mangoes everywhere, and yellow butterflies. So, Sigil, these malcontents. It feels like your smoky mirror is trying all the time to clear it, and you're making it cloudier. Tis the Norns. Past, present and future, all rolled together, flowing in the now, working with the sun. You know, this is talking about how you're, of all of the runes, it's like the smoke in your mirror is not real. You're making it almost belligerently to fit in. You know, so someone says to you, oh, this and this in my life, and you go, wow, that's the same in mine, and it's not true. I feel like you're not accepting the joy in your life. You're in an energy frequency of bliss, and you're pretending that that's not the case. That's a very strange energy. Do you fear? Oh look, there it is on the bottom. Don't usually stop to do that. I feel like there's an energy that comes when I see this card. Soul, remember, is a female deity, and she races across the sky in her chariot, carrying her shield, Svaldin, being harassed by wolves. And that's like your illusion. I feel like you fear saying, do you know what? If someone says to you, how are you? You would say not bad. Or you would say some other kind of negating word rather than just saying to somebody, do you know what? I'm terrific. Oh! A bird just flew right through. Never seen that before. That was proper hugging and thugging. Yeah. Why are you scared if I say to you, how are you? To say, do you know what, I'm brilliant. I absolutely couldn't be better. Is it because you feel most people are not in that frequency? You need to be that. You need to shine that sun frequency in the now. You need to be the energy to teach others of what it means to be feeling fabulous, to be in a good space, to be not in a smoky mirror, but to be sunlight, to be life force. See if we can get another one, because we only had one really. It's like it's not wanting to give another one. I'm really being connected to that bird that flew right through. I don't know why. I don't know what it was wanting to say. It's kind of like it was saying you're only ever revealing half the story. It's gone all very tight-lipped. Like you've gone a bit tight-lipped. But you're a little bit prodded by being told to stop moaning, your life's not so bad. Nothing at all. I'll give it one more go, and if I don't get anything, I'll split the deck. They're really tight. I can feel all the cards pulling against each other going, I don't want to hear anymore, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't need you to tell me all of that. Madur. You see, there's something about this that's an embellishment. You're embellishing your truth with lies. I've got a little bit of the energy of the last reading, but this is different because yours is really rather resplendent. The bottom of the deck. Niflheimr, the fog. You are embellishing your fog. Now that's weird. The gift of love came up again. This is really weird. The bliss of the biome and the prosperity of the cosmic ocean. Look, and these are coming in pairs, and they are all shouting their story. The freedoms you have because you're protected. That's really interesting. Your fog cleared. You're making the fog. You are self-deluding. No, you're not. Because you don't even believe that that's the truth. You're just using it as the shield. Your shield is to pretend that things are not as good for you as they are. That's not an energy you need, because eventually the wolves will catch you up and trip you over and eat you. So, what else would you like to say? I feel like I can hear very distant cows mooing, and I'm not sure whether it's genuinely cows mooing or whether it's that bit of bovine bone in my mouth. But that's Arthumbla, the holy cow. That's who you're connected to. There is this real sense that you're in your destiny. You're in a good frequency. I'm going to count 16 cards for Sigil. 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Moon in Taurus. You're in the now. This is the next moon. You know, this is solar eclipse. Solar, sun, eclipse. You eclipse your own light. Wow, you weirdos. Why are you doing it? Why don't you want to be in your own light? What's frightening you about it? Well, let's see if we get another card. You're in your own light and you're eclipsing your own light. Why? Because you're in Ophiuchus frequency. Ophiuchus is the divine thread of consciousness. This is that energy, the snake bearer. You're in a Yod moment. You are right now sailing in an energy of being totally galactically connected, and you're lying about it. You're not celebrating it, and it's just there. You're in this thing, but there's some part of you that can't own it to others. Like it's a secret. That's really weird. I just saw two imaginary birds split into different directions. And they weren't there at all. Another illusion, hugging and mugging. Right, so look, you've got this energy. This frequency right now is, it's Aries. Oh, getting a really high-pitched ear ringing. Aries, 0 degrees. Fire energy. Leo, 0 degrees. Sagittarius, 0 degrees. Look, I'm being told to tell you, look at your birth chart at the fire frequencies and see what you have in those signs. The closest one to a 0 degrees is the one that is your passion. It's the one that's being activated currently, because there's no smoke here. As I said, the smoke is your delusion, your shielding of your truth to others. It's like you've won the lottery and you daren't tell anyone or they'll want it all from you. And that's weird. Because whatever beautiful energy is coming to you, you should want to share. I was going to take those two cards, but they didn't fall. And yours is definitely an energy about something happening to you. It's not about you making it happen. This is something happening to you and you hiding from it. It's Hierophant. That's inner light frequency, spiritual energy, cosmic thread of consciousness. I feel like the crossed keys, though, are a symbol of you kind of locking others out of this gift. You don't want to do that. You want to share. You really do want to share. There is an energy that's trapped. I just need to check something else. Oh yeah. This is an energy that isn't readily available, but is available to you if you reach out and take it, and it's sharing. You need to share. Because you're being given flow that other people were wishing for, and you're being selfish with it. You're frightened that it's going to alienate you rather than actually be beneficial to others by sharing that energy. What else would you like to say? What else would you like to say, please, to Rune 6s? See, now we've got a spillage of 2. Oh, 3 maybe. Yeah, 3. So I'm going to say we'll take the 2 together first. Healing, ending. It's like there's 2 messages here. You've reached a point where your healing has ended and you're in the light. But there's also an energy of this where if you don't share, that healing will lead to an ending. I'm holding that the wrong way around. But anyway, you get the point. There's such a fragile distinction in terms of the energy of this cosmic galactic Ophiuchus gift, 0 degrees Capricorn, because that's where Sinistra is. That's what this is about. There's something a bit sinister about the way you're working with the energies. And then the wish card, like selfish wishes, not sharing wishes. This is the energy you need to be connecting with. This is a really weird energy at the end. Really strange. There's no smoke around you. I've said that already. It's clear. Your healing has ended. You're stepping into the light. There's double light. We've got 2 soul cards. And yet, you're not being honest about how good you're feeling. I feel brilliant. How can I help you feel brilliant? That's what you need to be asking. Sharing in the galactic opportunity. I'm not saying you're going to be punished for not doing it, but I think that the light will turn off, the healing will end, or you will, the energy somehow, if you can't find a way to reach in and share more honestly. So, that's so weird. I could see that card in my mind's eye. Whip, broom, flagellation, self-punishment. Interesting, these 2, mountain and moon, you know, Sol and the moon are sister and brother, and this is representing the brother, but there's something about you're weary of being the shepherd to a flock. You just want somehow, for the moment, to just look after you. And yet the cosmos is saying that's selfish. And yet there's something in it. Because you've moved around the blockage. I need to ask. I have to try and find out more about that. So, are Rune 6 right to sit in their own frequency and look after themselves first? No. That will pain you, ultimately. So, if they share this healing energy, they're weary of being a leader, but they're being called to be a leader because you're being given the light, you're being cleared quicker, or you've done the work to clear quicker. You can't suddenly choose to not watch your flock. So if they choose to keep watching the flock, oh, that's so interesting. That card completely changed. When it flashed over and fell, it was the 10 of batons, and I was thinking, that's really weird, because then the energy is to be overburdened. If you work with the flock, you move the Wheel of Fortune forwards, not just for you, but for everyone. And so what's the result then? What comes of the light from within you? Beautiful, absolute, loving, joyful, pleasurable union with the world. You're being gifted something. Share it. Share your gift. So, that's all for now. And I can have a little swing while I drink the rest of my water. And I thank you all for picking a rune. Actually, I've got to go downstairs and start getting this ready. So, Wassail, beautiful people.